But that's what I think. I think is yes,
Mm.
on my end, yes, he should get paid, but there needs to be some kind of small caveat, whether it's the term is less or there's no trade, no move. Just like something, some fail safe, some small glimmer of hope in case things go wrong, and then as a franchise we can, fix it and not suffer with seasons with a bad goaltender making 14% of the cap, and then you can't get players. So, oh yeah, your turn.
So, like you said in the beginning, I'm a full, no stop, just yes. Now, I want to be clear though. That doesn't mean I want to just hand him a piece of paper and say like, hey, what's your number? I mean, obviously 14% of the cap, that's the conversation that's going on, but essentially like, I don't want to just give up the ghost, right? But I think that when you kind of look at his performance and what it really means to the team, it's an MVP type performance. I mean, you highlighted the numbers, you highlighted the history there. It's very obvious, but then also on the ice as well when we're watching these games. And it's a historic thing that the Rangers, for some reason, love to do. It gives me a heart attack, but they love to do it. They did it with Hank for years and years and years. They rely on their goalie like nobody's business. I mean, obviously, all teams need a good goaltender. They need a goalie behind them that can make those big saves, make those game-changing, game-saving kind of moves. But with that being said, I feel, and I imagine you and most of our fans would agree with me, that we have always kind of relied on goaltending too much. With that being said, Hank stood up to that. He stood up. He was amazing. He was incredible. So to go right from Hank to Igor, I'm kind of in the camp of we need to honestly count our blessings and be happy that we're in this situation and make him happy. And so, that number is not great. That's a big number. But when you consider like a McDavid and the performance that he gives to the Oilers, and you think of McKinnon and Crosby, the impact they have on their teams is the same impact we're getting from Igor. Obviously, he's not a forward. He's not a defenseman. He's not physically, moving the puck in that way. But the way that we rely on him, he's the backbone of this team. He is our spine. He is the core. Honestly, he is a franchise player. I want him here for years and years and years, and I want him to be consistently good and consistently great. That's what we've seen from him. So, I believe we're going to continue to get that. And I think that the only reason we're really having this conversation too is because he's a goalie, right? Goalies don't get paid as much, obviously, historically, with the kind of ups and downs, the volatility. I get it. It makes sense. But I'm in the camp of why not give him the money? If he's giving us the same, comparable performance that those other guys are giving to their teams, then he's worth it. Obviously, as a goalie, like I get it. And I already said it, but goalies are not getting paid that much money. But with the cap going up, they're going to get paid that much money. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to get paid more money. And that's the natural kind of progression of things, especially with these, like you said, people are handing out 7x7s, 8x8s like they're candy. So I think we need to make this happen. Again, I don't think you just hand him the money, but realistically, I don't think it's something that's going to cripple us as much as represent what he means to this organization. And that's really what we need to do. We need to make him happy. I mean, God forbid, knock on wood, we cannot mess this up. Like genuinely, if we, let term be an issue or we let a no move, no trade clause be an issue and we're straight silly and we watch him walk, this is not a serious franchise. Drury does not know what he's doing, like genuinely. And I mean, maybe that's a little dramatic, but I just, how do you let him walk? He means way too much to this organization. So with that being said, I am also not super against that no move, no trade. I think that I quite frankly, I want him here. I don't want him to go anywhere. Obviously, it's a fail-safe. You never know kind of how players are going to play, what's going to happen, how their careers are going to fold out. You obviously have things to go on, and so far he's given us all good things to go on. So why would we not believe that he'll continue to be great for, likely the rest of his career? So I just think that even if we do have that kind of no move, no trade, it's really not that big a deal. I mean, I understand it from a business perspective and more of a conservative approach. You want to have that fail-safe, but I don't think we necessarily need it. I also think that if that's a hang-up, it's give it to him. I don't want this to be some kind of huge 8-year deal. I mean, I think, again, that's probably what he's going to want. That's a very common thing. But when you're looking at where he ends up at the end of that deal, he is a lot older. There may be some question marks. It's just kind of the natural progression of things. But like I said, if that's an issue, we bend. I guess bend, don't break. We don't need to walk in the room and just give him everything he wants immediately, but he needs to feel loved and he needs to feel welcomed. And we got to keep this guy. I mean, genuinely, like I said, no stop. Yes, 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 yes. And I do think that Drury, with his kind of conservative approach that we've seen from him, typically he's not going to walk in that room and just hand Igor whatever he wants. I do think he's going to kind of go through that whole process, and maybe we do end up, coming out with a contract that we're all really happy with. Maybe Igor wants a 6-year deal with, a modified no trade clause for the end of the deal, and he wants, 12 mil. I'm happy with that. That 12 mil is a big number, but again, I think that it wouldn't cripple us so much as represent what he means to this team, and also with the cap going up, you mentioned it as well. That's not going to be as big of a hit. And when you look at other teams and they're playing those, paying those MVP type guys that money, why not Igor? That's my approach. That's where I'm at. I also I love him. I want him to be here. So I'm not bothered by a no move or no trade clause. I think we have to go all in on this.
Mm-hmm.
There's no stop for me.
Yeah, this is why. So I just hate the NHL's cap thing. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Like we shouldn't be sitting here having conversations about what players get paid. Like it shouldn't matter. I will say that's the one fun thing with baseball, besides the legacy tax and all that stuff, but or luxury tax, not legacy tax. But yeah, it's irritating. I know, but it's just it's the games we have to play. I think the thing that I like the most that what you said is like, not signing him or finding a way to sign him is shows that we're not a serious organization and Drury doesn't know what he's doing. I think that's very true. That is very, very true. Igor's our guy. He's stood on his head for us many times. He's not perfect. Nobody is, but he's close to it. And yeah, I hope there's as much love in Igor for the Rangers as there is for the Rangers to him. I think that is the case. I know money can really change people's perspective and how they think and whatnot. But I'm hopeful things will get done.